You drunk the wine, you took the toast. You put it down, you broke the code. Turn on your own, where can you go? You took the vow, you took the oath. You drank the wine, you took the toast. You put it down, you broke the code. Turn on your own, where can you go?
If you leave now, you was never with us. Never with us. You was never with us. If you leave now, you was never with us. Never with us. You was never with us. If you leave now, you was never with us. Never with us. Should've never did it. You leave now, you was never with us. Never with us. You was never
Let
with
the
us.
unbelieving depart. Y'all niggas burn themselves, useless after you call. No smiles after you fall, just remember it's us. Backs to the wall. Seen a Jew look his mans in the eye. Turn around, kiss his family goodbye. I seen one go to the other side. Backstab us, they providing the knives. The levels of fantasy high, thinking you could take this under. My side of stay in wonder. Yeah, tick-tock, your days are numbered. Say lie. It's a call from a cartel. United, we stand in a tall hell. We was born in the dark, but the scars tell. The fear in their eyes when it's all 12. Acts 1:6 be the kingdom. This the oath to remember the king him. Bring the bread and the wine and the rings in. And the prayers for the ones we ain't seen since. Hope to fill them on 115 him. Maybe they depart for a season. Mercy on his head, we receive him. If not, to give him up to his demons. Cause you took the vow, you took the oath. You drank the wine, you took the toast. You put it down, you broke the code. Turn on your own, where can you go? You took the vow, you took the oath. You drank the wine, you took the toast. You put it down, you broke the code. Turn on your own, where can you go?
If you leave now, you was never with us. Never with us. You was never with us. If you leave now, you was never with us. Never with us. You was never with us. If you leave now, you was never with us. Never with us. Should've never did it. You leave now, you was never with us. Never with us. You was never with us.
Pray to my God. They upset cause they know we got next. They know Christ coming back just to kill all these frauds. We ain't playing no games, we just pulling their cards. No shame when I pull out this sword. Propane when I put on these bars. All I do is spit flames when I get on these songs. Like what else am I supposed to do? Brothers nowadays are so emotional. Always in their feelings like the women or their children. I'm just trying to build them up like how a coach should do. We worldwide with it, we on the move. Trying to show our people how they supposed to move. We men
I'm Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ, and today I'd like to present a sit-down discussion with the Jewish community. There's a lot of controversy. There's much hatred that you have towards us. We're the prophets of the one true God. So what we'd like to do is sit down with several of your leading Jewish personalities. The rest of you just stand by. Sit back, move out the way. We want to sit down with Yitzhak Yosef, who called black people monkeys. He's number one.
לא הכל כושים מברכים, אלא צריך שיהיה כושי שאבא שלו ואמא שלו לבנים. איפה אתה תדע? אם אתה יודע, בפעם שאתה יודע, ואתה יצא להם בן קוף, יצא להם בן ככה.
Number two, we like to sit down with Jonathan Greenblatt of the Anti-Defamation League. You have so much to say on the Breakfast Club in alluding that we have shot and murdered people in New Jersey. We want to sit down and discuss with you to produce your cause.
And look, they're entitled to their beliefs until that justifies shooting Jewish people with pellet guns on Staten Island. Or like, this is December. 3 years ago, December 2019, 2 black Hebrew Israelites went into a kosher supermarket in Jersey City and killed 3 people because they said they weren't real Jews.
Wow.
Shot
them cold dead in a kosher supermarket.
Prove what those lies you have said. We want to sit down with the SPLC, Margaret Huang, and Beeson. You also pushed the lie that we have murdered people in New Jersey, so forth and so on. We want to sit down with APOC, Howard Core, and Lillian Pincus. Also, that latest group, the Canary Mission. We want to sit down with Adam Milstein and Howard D. Sterling.
When Tony asked about Canary Mission.
Who are the people involved with them?
It's him. It's him.
Adam Milstein.
Yeah, I don't know who he hired to oversee it. Adam Milstein. He's the guy who funds it.
We need to expose the fact that they're anti everything we believe in. We need to put them on the right.
So Adam Milstein, he funds the Israel Project and he's funding the Canary Mission website.
Yeah, which is interesting because it makes it seem as though we're a part of it, but we're not.
We'd like to sit down with all of you. If all, one for all and all for one, however you want to do it. But we will sit down with you. So don't say we're running from you, we're trying to evade you. No, we're not. Okay? Reach us, call us at 1-855-484-4842, extension 7023. Or by email, israel@israelunite.org. All right? The scriptures say, if at all possible, be at peace with all men. And that's what we endeavor to do. So, Jewish community, have a sit down with us. Let's have an open discussion publicly. All right? Shalom.
Sheesh! My people going to war. We bringing out the fire. Those heathens we ignore. Cause we know that they liars. I'm reading in the we reading in the they reading in
Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Most High in Christ bless Israel. It's Tuesday night and you are tuned into In the Scripts
Reloaded.
All right. I had a little bit of juice. I had a little juice. I had a little juice with it, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, y'all are back, man. Y'all know what's going on. Every Tuesday night from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central, we going in.
That's right. Right.
And if y'all remember, a few months ago, we went through a campaign where we had our knees on the neck of Amalek.
Right.
We had our knees on their neck, right? And then we slid back off of it a little bit, and what they do?
They crept on back up, them whack-a-mole.
Right. They did a whack-a-mole on us, man. Yeah. They turned around and did what we call the fool. They did the fool, man. So now we got to deal with it, man. We got to deal with angry birds and birds of a feather, man, and all of these, hating people out here, man, that want to lie on Israel. And mainly Israel united in Christ.
Right.
Ain't that interesting? They ain't calling out nobody else.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I don't hear them calling other people's names. You hear that?
No, I don't hear them calling nobody.
Yeah, I don't hear them calling.
They got
other
our
people's
bishop
names.
on their website.
The only time they'll try to mention other people's name is if they do it as a blanket term. Oh, the Black Hebrew Israelites. But when they come to name dropping and getting specific, it's IUIC.
Right. What's funny is you'll see in their articles. What was we were seeing a video where everything that they were saying was ISUPK this, ISUPK that. And they were identifying that name, but they kept showing pictures of Israel united in Christ.
Right.
So they were pronouncing all the evil against those brothers, but using our face as the face of the evil.
Right.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Amazing. All right, so the title to the show tonight, for everybody that doesn't know, is Birds of a Feather Fall Down Together.
Right.
Birds of a feather fall down together, man. There's an old school song, and the walls came tumbling down. That's too old for y'all, bro.
I was in there. My ears is tuned.
Yeah. Nothing about it, sir. Nothing about it.
Hey, but I want to open up real quick, though, because I want to preface what we're going to be doing with the show. Give me the book of Psalms. Give me Psalms chapter 50. And we're going to start at verse number 16. I want you to read 16, 17. Then we're going to read 19 through 21. Psalms 16, 17. Because this is what's going on. This is what's going on. Read that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 50 and verse 16. But unto the wicked, God saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes?
And what most people don't understand is the wicked is the Edomites. There's wicked of our people. Yes, there's wicked of the other nations, but it's specific. When the Bible is talking about who the wicked is, the Bible calls Edom the seed of Esau, the Idumeans, the Romans, the Greeks, the people we call Caucasians and Europeans and Israelis today. Those are the wicked.
Right.
Read.
But unto the wicked, God said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth?
And what are you doing taking my covenant? Meaning you should not be picking up this Bible having nothing to say about it at all.
Right.
This was not given to you. Read.
Seeing thou hatest instruction.
Because you hate instructions. How do we know that you hate instructions? Because you would rather go by what you call the oral law rather than the written law.
Right.
You find nowhere in the scriptures that God gave us an oral law at Mount Horeb and Mount Sinai. But you lying devils will say every week, every month, every year, ever since you ever was given the power over the earth, that God gave you an oral law, and you stand on that law more than you do the word of God, because it was never given to you.
Right.
Read that again.
Seeing thou hatest instruction.
You hate the Bible. Read.
And casteth my words behind thee.
And you cast it behind you for the traditions of men called the Talmud.
Right.
The mitzvah, and all of these other crazy words that they got. Read.
When thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him.
Jump down to 19.
Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit.
And how do you give your mouth to evil? Because you call us evil. The Bible says, woe unto those that call evil good and good evil. And this is what you do. Your mouth is framed. Your tongue is set for deceit. Read.
Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother.
Why? Because we were born as twins. We can't deny that. We can't deny that. We were born as twins, Jacob and Esau. But we are Jacob, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We are Jacob.
Right.
And you sit and speak against your brother. Read.
Thou slanderest thine own mother's son.
And you slandered your own mother's son all the way since the beginning of time. But we won't go into that. We don't have to dig that deep. But right now, you slander us. Guess what, though? The brotherly covenant was broken. So we don't have to fake. You can throw the Deuteronomy 23:7 around. Thou shalt not abhor and eat them. Hey, look, we don't walk around telling nobody to hate you, Edom.
Right.
Idumea, Esau.
Right.
We don't walk around telling people to hate the Israelis.
Right.
But that's what you put in your mouth. You dare say that we walk into to corner stores and restaurants and murder people and shoot people with their sons on the street, and there's no proof that we did it.
Right.
Read.
These things hast thou done, and I kept silence.
And God kept silence for a time. Read.
Though thou thoughtest that I was altogether such an one as thyself.
And that's because all of the images were painted to look like it was you.
Right.
Everything was iconoclast to look like it was so-called white people. You think God is one of you. Read.
But I will reprove thee.
But God said, I will reprove you.
And set them in order before thine eyes.
And I will set them in order before your eyes. This is what God is saying to us. He will set us in order. Give me that in Jeremiah. Give me that in Jeremiah. Jeremiah 49:12.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 49 and verse 12. For thus saith the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup.
So it was never for we were created to rule the earth. The earth was created for us. So drinking of this cup is not what we were created for. But we were given commandments in life or sin and death. So we went into captivity based on our foolish minds. But we being set in order right now. Read.
For thus saith the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken.
They have assured, and we did drink it. We went into slavery on those ships. We had our names taken from us, like the scripture said.
Right.
We had our wives and our children taken from us. We had our children ripped from us and had no power to get them back. We had our names changed. We were taken into different doctrines and philosophies, scattered to the four corners of the earth, and now have to live with all of the diseases, even ones not written in the book. All of that happened to us. Esau, Edom, Idumea.
Amalek.
All right? So that's all we prefacing it with that, because that's where we going tonight. That's what we dealing with, is the lies that have been spoken against us as a people. And all of it is lies. And we understand now that we did it to ourselves. We sinned against our God.
Right.
But guess what? He's setting us in order right before your eyes, and you hate it. You can't stand it.
Also, can we finish the middle one?
Yes, sir.
Next is, and art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. Esau, y'all ain't got to worry about us. Trust me. We abide by the laws of the land.
Right.
We trying to live peaceable amongst all men, dwelling in houses, planting gardens. Hey, we like to keep the commandments of God.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, y'all just got to worry about our big brother. Hey, they got to worry about the king of the kings. He coming back to get on your head.
Right.
That's right.
Hey,
That's
real
right.
quick, too, something I was thinking about, officer, when you read that Psalms 50 about us being set in order before their eyes, and then tying it into the overall theme of what we're talking about the lies, the slander, right, the propaganda that's put out. It's been documented from the beginning of time, but even just more and more recent time, that this has always been a tactic of Esau. Anytime our people have been trying to be put in order, right? Think back to the civil rights movement. Think back to Dr. King, who, like Bishop said on last Sabbath, Edomites should never mention his name because y'all murdered him.
Right.
So don't ever mention his name about, oh, you should be more like Dr. King. Y'all killed him.
Right.
And you killed Fred Hampton when he was trying to put our people in order. You exiled Marcus Garvey when he was trying to do something good. You defamed Malcolm X and turned his own people on him and had then they try to get crafty. Oh, look, see, this time we're going to make a Negro kill him.
Right.
But it was your hand that was up underneath the puppet.
Right.
You was the puppet master.
Right.
All of this is documented history. Anytime our people have tried to stand up and do something collectively with each other, Esau has always had a problem with it and went in to destroy it. It's nothing new.
Esau do it, turn around and make a movie out of it and make money off of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then turn around and say, no, we don't do those things.
Right. Hey, and you know what? That's the perfect segue into the segments for tonight.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. That's the perfect segue because Esau would do everything as a hypocrite. Esau, you're a liar.
Right.
You're a hypocrite. You're a thief.
Right.
And what we're about to hear from the streets is going to help to explain that. Let's go into Ear from the Streets.
All praise to the Most High, man. So y'all know what time it is. Every week we do Ears from the Streets. By the way, I would like to say, just the same as plug for myself, I'm back, baby.
Hey, you are back.
All praise to the Most High.
Let somebody else say that.
It's been a little bit, man. I had to throw it in there, man.
He said shameless plug.
I
No,
said a little shameless plug, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All praises. But yeah, it's Ears to the Streets, man. You know, we talking about the hot topics and going on amongst our people. And what's been brewing over these last few days is this hypocrisy, like Officer just said, that's been pointed out about the NCAA women's championship basketball game.
Esau being Esau?
Esau being Esau,
Esau
man.
being Esau.
So this damn near could double for I Do Me a Moment of the Week and Ears to the Streets, but we got something else for I Do Me a Moment. Y'all stay tuned.
That's right.
So let's go ahead and play that video. Let's look at it, let the people see what exactly went down.
A championship game between Iowa State and LSU, specifically between its two players, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Throughout the season, Clark has been hailed as NCAA's top women's player and had no problem showing off her skills during the tournament, using John Cena's "You Can't See Me" taunt whenever she caught fire. During last night's game, LSU's Angel Reese would return the favor by turning the taunt Clark has been using all season against her. Reese's critics would express their displeasure, calling the taunt unprofessional and unsportsmanlike. But they didn't have the same energy for Clark, who had been using the taunts all season. Today, we have our comedy hype analysts, Pierre and Capone, calling into the show to give their thoughts and reactions. But first, let's take a look at this clip.
Knows a ring is coming.
We only going to 110, y'all.
So Keith Alberman would respond and say, what?
All praises. So y'all, as y'all see, the white girl Caitlin Clark. Now I'll be honest, she's a pretty good basketball player.
Yeah, she can play.
She's been lighting it up this year, you know, playing well or whatever. Okay,
she trash. I don't even know. I don't even watch basketball. She sucks.
But check it out though, right? As she's been doing her thing, she's been getting, you know, all this hype and praise. Oh, she plays with so much fire. She has so much charisma, so much swag. She's so inspirational to her team because she's a bit of a firecracker. She's snappy. She's feisty. Right. She talks crap to the other team. She taunts them. She gets in their face. Everybody loves it, right? They call, oh, queen, great job.
She's groundbreaking, huh?
She's groundbreaking. She's the next best thing. They call her the female Larry Bird, right? That's what they called her, right? But then when one of our sisters in the national championship game, by the way, this for all the marbles, one of our sisters say, okay, you thought you was all that, and we got the dub on y'all. So now I'm finna throw the exact same celebration that you mock other people with, I'm about to do it to your
It's gonna
face.
be the same thing.
Oh man, you would have thought the whole world would have ended.
Right.
You would have thought she tried to kill this white girl.
Hey, and we're gonna let's look at the screenshots.
Check it out. Check out some of the people's responses.
Yeah, let's see some of these responses.
Keith Olbermann.
So this is the guy who just called her an effing idiot. This is what Keith Olbermann says, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now we see what's happening here. Right?
She pointing at her finger. She's saying, hey, look. We finna win this.
Right.
It's done. It's over. We can see you.
So there's a response below that, though, that was funny.
Yeah, read what Shaq said.
Here goes Shaq. Shut your dumb ass up.
Yeah.
Leave Angel Reese alone.
Oh, praise. Oh, praise.
Hold on, say it again.
Shut your dumb ass up. Hey, leave Angel Reese alone.
Right. So at least that brother stood up in that moment.
All praises.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see the next one.
Classless Piece of Ish by Dave Portnoy.
Nah, to hell with that. I'm reading it. Classless piece of shit. That's what she called our sister.
Wow.
She called our sister, he called our sister a piece of shit because she did the exact same thing that the white girl got praised for.
Hypocrisy.
Full-blown hypocrisy.
Full-blown hypocrisy.
And Shaq coming to the rescue.
What'd he say?
And so is your mother. Hey, I've been working on my Shaq impersonation all day.
I see, bro. I see, bro.
That brother came prepared.
That's why I'm gaining so much weight, man. Damn. Deacon Isaac may want to do something. You never know, man.
Oh, man.
Hey, but that's the thing, though, and that's what we want to highlight. Y'all, when y'all are paying attention to all of the shows that are going out right now, everybody, we on their heels.
Right.
We ain't letting up because this is complete hypocrisy that they would try to shame our sister for what she's doing when one of their daughters and sisters did the exact same thing to the other players.
Right. And you know what else? I know we don't got it for the lineup, but I just saw it on my work break today. The daggone president of the United States, it's a tradition that the champions get invited to the White House.
Right.
Yep. Saw that.
Jill Biden is saying that she's going to petition Joe to invite the losers as well.
Wow.
They want LSU women and the Iowa women team to come to the White House.
Wow.
Why? Because Caitlin's little feelings were hurt. They taunted her. Oh,
yeah.
Let's let the losers. Since when do the hell the losers get the same privileges as the victors?
Hey, that's some new stuff though, because nowadays, I remember back in the day, I wouldn't let my daughter get a participation ribbon.
Absolutely.
Nah, if you won, you won. If you lost, you lost. You're going to get the ribbon you're going to get the ribbon that you earned.
Hey, they looking at you like you a terrible parent, huh?
Yeah.
Like, what? He just ripped up that ribbon.
Right. And think about this, though. If they let the Iowa women's team come to the White House, that means they got to go back to all of the second place people. Because, they do this for every sport. The NFL champion gets to go, the NBA champion, the MLB, whatever. So whoever lost the championship game, you got to go back and invite them to the White House, too.
Right.
Madness, the hell is this?
Madness. All right, so we see they hypocrites. Edom, Idumea, Esau, y'all hypocrites. Amalek, y'all hypocrites.
Right.
But let's go into the Idumean moment.
Hey, man, we got the Idumean moment of the week coming up. Terrible, tragic, evil event that occurred at the hands of Esau. But guess what? Nobody calls this a hate group.
Nah.
Canary Mission ain't talking about this, though.
Right.
They'd rather talk about black men who trying to teach black men how to be good black men.
Right. Yeah.
Right? And telling black women how to be proper sisters, but they won't talk about this. Let's see what the Idumean moment of the week is.
Surrounding the deadly mass shooting at Covenant School, including the response time by Metro Police. Fox 17 News' Caitlin Miller live in Green Hills tonight with how this all unfolded.
Metro Police say that they responded to the shots fired call within 8 minutes, and they located and killed the shooter within 6 minutes of getting on campus. Now, warning to all, the video that we are about to show you is violent.
Surveillance video from the Covenant Presbyterian Church shows Audrey Hale arriving at the Covenant School parking lot in a Honda Fit at 9:53 Monday morning. Hale parks and at 10:10 is seen shooting through both glass doors at a side entrance. The shooter then enters the building and the video shows fire alarms are going off by 10:13. Metro Police say they responded to a shots fired call at 10:13 at the Covenant School. We see Hale exiting the church at 10:19 in the surveillance video and walking through a hallway. Metro Police say officers arrived at the school at 10:21.
Let's go!
On the Metro Police body-worn cameras, we see officers Rex Engelbert and Michael Colazzo entering the building. After officers checked classrooms on the first floor, investigators say Officer Engelbert heard gunshots.
It's upstairs. It sounds like it's upstairs.
Shortly after, Engelbert and Colazzo meet in the hallway on the second floor of the school.
Push with LPVO.
And that's when both officers shot and killed Hale. Police say this happened by 10:27 a.m. Students held hands and were transported by school.
And this was the Transformer, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
It was a Edomite at my job. He was, before I even heard about it, he had brought up. He was like, you see that they, it's Esau. You see that they calling this the first female mass shooting, right? And I was like, wait, what? This before I knew it was a trans. He was like, yeah, this is a transvestite.
No, right, but it was a trans man.
Right. So and that's why I was like, okay, so this is a man that turned into a woman turns into a man. He was like, that man had a penis. That's what he said.
Yeah, no, that was a woman acting as a man.
That was a woman acting as
a
man?
Her name is Audrey Hale.
Oh, she was born woman.
Yeah, she was born a woman, and she's acting as a man.
Esau,
he had it confused.
Hey, what's that word you said?
Confused?
Because that's what that
is. Yeah, that's what it is.
He was confused. He was reading it like, I don't know.
What?
Yeah. Audrey, she was a woman acting as a man.
So that's why I saw some of the reactions where people was like, they're misgendering him, her.
What the hell?
Yo, they were upset.
They focusing on about the misgendering and about the fact that this person just went in and shot little kids at school.
This is how you know we in the age, or Esau's in the age of decadence. We ain't in the damn age of decadence, but Esau's country in the age of decadence. They done for. You got people, they don't care about the actual tragedy of children's lives being lost.
Right.
They care more about, but are you getting the pronoun right?
Are you saying he or she correctly?
And you know what? And I'm gonna look to make sure, because from what I was hearing, it was a woman who was acting. She was living her life as a man, not a man living it. So,
and that's why
if I'm wrong, somebody put it in the thing.
And that's why I confused me.
Put it
when I saw the video, it had the whole basketball cap on and stuff like that. I was like, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
Hey man, this is just another point in showing you how Esau's hypocrisy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They like you said, they care more about the daggone pronoun than the actual tragic event that occurred.
Mm-hmm.
But then also too, who's notorious for doing this? This is anytime we see a mass shooting, whether it be at a school, whether it be at a church, open event, a park, a hotel, whatever. The overwhelming majority of mass killers are Edomites. And guess what? That's not hatred for us telling that. That's the truth.
Right. So, all right. Hadara Israel said, yeah, it was a woman.
A woman.
Yep, it was a woman. So it was a trans man. It was a woman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, portraying herself to be a man. So, yeah.
What the hell is this?
But it's you know what's funny about that though is they have a history of portraying themselves as other people anyway.
Right.
So this is how they push it. In fact, from last week's show, it's pretty amazing because they were so upset with us that from the time that the show was over to the next morning, they had already got us.
Wow.
They had already got us.
Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so.
Yeah, they had already got us. Hey, let's bring it out. Let's pull up. We're going to go straight into it, man. Let's go straight into it. So y'all see what Esau is doing, the Idumean moment of the week. They out here just losing their darn minds. And actually, that fit in perfectly with this. That's an angry bird going wild.
Right.
That is an angry bird going wild. So this group, Canary Mission, decided to tweet about us, IUIC Dallas in particular, last week because they saw the show, they saw the thumbnail, and they were pissed.
Boy, if you don't so this week they probably watching right now.
They watching
right
again.
It's gonna be a tweet tomorrow.
Hi, Angry Bird. How y'all doing?
Hey, check it out.
You the devil.
They said that it's anti-Semitic because we posted anti-Semitic meme, right?
Right.
Because the title Angry Birds.
Anti-Semitic.
What is a canary?
Canary is a bird.
It's a freaking bird. How in the world is that anti-Semitic? We are making a ploy on the name of your own business, your own company.
I have no idea.
Oh, God. Look at that logo. What's in their logo?
Yeah.
Y'all got it on the screen?
So
nothing says.
Read this, then let's show the screenshot.
Nothing says anti-Semitic like posting an anti-Semitic meme at IUIC Dallas. If you want to smear Canary Mission for calling you out on your anti-Semitism, try harder next time. Love the Angry Birds. And they put the little sodomite kiss on it.
Yeah, right. And a little sodomite kiss.
Right.
Blow that up. Is it? Can we spread that out a little bit? The actual meme.
And we see the people. We see the people that they got working from. The dude had to do the sodomite. They spilling all the information. Yeah. It's him. He's working for us. Stuff like that. He the one behind these tweets.
So notice the stamp that they put on it. Captured by Canary Mission.
Looking a bird capturing.
Yeah.
Ain't that what?
That's what birds do.
Right.
But yeah, that they had to stamp it and let it be known. Hey, this is Tell me what's anti-Semitic about this, because there's 2 angry-faced Amalekites. Right. 2 angry-faced Amalekites on here.
As if they don't get mad.
As if they don't get mad.
You're anti-Semitic because you said we get mad.
And the other Amalekites that are sitting in the background, the captain, they smiling.
Look like Hank Schrader from Breaking Bad. Look like Hank Schrader.
So how can you be offended by this? I'm glad you love the Angry Birds. But Cap look austere, strong.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He look kingly.
Right.
Yeah, real kingly.
Hey, we have images of our men, with the same facial expression, but guess what they doing? They teaching the word of God.
Teaching the gospel.
So this cuts you to shreds because ain't nothing coming out of y'all mouth that's righteous whatsoever.
Right. Absolutely. Hey, take us to the next one. Take it to let's see what else is out here, man. Let's see what else is out here. Because after that happened, right? That happened that morning. Mm-hmm. They tweeted it out. Well, then later that day, something very suspicious happened. Mm. Let's see what happens when people who say they have no power and that they're being lied on. Let's see what happens when they get angry.
This is from YouTube. This looks like a message from YouTube. Hi, IUIC Dallas. We wanted to let you know our team reviewed your content, and we think it violates our medical misinformation policy. Mm-hmm. We know you may not have realized this was a violation of our policies, so we're not applying a strike to your channel. However, we have removed the following content from YouTube. Video and the scripts reloaded, Biological Warfare Part 2.
They removed a video later that day. So that means that after the Angry Birds got angry,
right,
then
they started chirping.
Started chirping.
They started chirping.
Yep, they started singing. Singing like a nightingale.
A canary.
Yeah,
right.
Started singing like a canary. They started singing on us. Birds.
Yeah.
Ain't that Bishop be talking about these birds? But they got angry. Now, here's where the shock lies. They removed the video called, and the scripts reloaded, Biological Warfare Part 2. Guess what?
What?
That video was released 4 years ago.
Why ain't no bomb on that?
Come on now, dog.
Come on now, AV. Where the bomb at, man?
So maybe YouTube is just so backed up in files and reviews that maybe they just now get into a 4-year-old video.
Right.
Just now.
So dang it, 4 years, hey, we might have to look back at this video. We might get another message.
And notice, it was Part 2.
Right. That's what I'm like. They ain't do Part 1. What happened to Part 1?
Right. Same information. It's just you expound on it the next week. But what is this? These are those things that are fear factors. Right? We start pulling down your videos. Maybe you'll shut up.
Right.
Guess what? We ain't shutting up.
That's right.
Isaiah 58:1, somebody. Isaiah 58:1. Yeah. We ain't shutting up. I don't know if y'all know, but this is what we built for. This is what we were trained for.
Yeah.
Whether you saw us with a microphone in our hand in the world, or whether we was playing sports in the world, or whatever it was, I guarantee you, everybody that you see amongst us went hard in what they did.
Right.
That's what we do. We were built for this. And those that may not have been as strong in the world, when they came in,
bring it out,
are being built up to be strong.
That's right.
Read that.
That's right. The book of Isaiah, chapter 58 and verse 1.
Read out.
Cry aloud.
Do what?
Cry aloud.
The Bible says, cry aloud. Read.
Spare not.
Do not spare anybody's feelings. If you're an angry bird, we're going to call you an angry bird. Angry bird. Read.
Lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
No, speak soft.
Lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
Joel Osteen.
Lift up thy voice like a trumpet. And show my people their transgression. And the house of Jacob their sin.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
Look at we're not shutting up, y'all.
Hey, check it out, though. You made a heavy point a few minutes ago when you said the people that claim they have no power. You know, that's one of their criteria for the definition of an anti-Semitic comment is by saying that Jewish people have authority or power over the media or this or that, whatever. Right? Going again to the hypocrisy. First of all, we just proved that you have power because when we made a post in the meme, we get our video taken down the very next day.
Right.
That's number one. But number two, about the whole media control thing, right? You can literally do a simple Google search.
Right.
And you can find out that 96 to 98%, I think one of those two, 96% of the media companies either are owned by or have chief executives that are Jewish.
Right.
So how is it anti-Semitic or wrong or evil to say that you have control over the media?
Right.
You quite literally, by definition of position and hierarchy, have control over the media.
Damn, you see how he rolled that?
He wrote that.
Bro, hold on.
That was smooth. That was too smooth.
Damn.
That was,
he laid some words out.
College education right there.
They think Negroes can't speak.
Yeah, right.
It might be anti-Semitic for you to speak like that.
Yeah, that's anti-Semitic to know those words.
You're able to read. You're a Terry.
Right.
Yeah.
Good God.
You are a Terry. For real.
Can I read the Bible?
Yeah.
YouTube, we realize this may be disappointing news, but it's our job to make sure that YouTube is a safe place for all. If you think we've made a mistake, you can appeal this decision. You'll find more details below.
So they're saying it was a medical misinformation.
Right.
They said we broke the medical misinformation policy, and they took down part 2 and not part 1. So we're going to see what happens after the night because birds of a feather fall down together. Birds. It is what it is. Hey, it is what it is, man.
It is what it is, man. In the words of the great Captain Hoshai, it is what it is,
Yeah,
man.
it is what it is, man. That's all it is, man. Shout out to Captain Hoshai, man. That's right. For real. Hey, so next, there is a slander that happened, and it happened a while back. A lot of people don't know about it. Actually, I've heard Bishop Yawasop bring it up a couple of times. Guess what? We got the book that, about the story that Bishop Yawasop is speaking about, right? The name of this book is The Jewish Onslaught, and it was written by Tony Martin, Dr. Tony Martin. He's a professor at, I forget, is it Wesley College? I think Wesley College is the name of the college, all right? But Tony Martin, The Jewish Onslaught. Let's go into this book, and let's look at some slanders against our people at the hands of the Amalekites, our enemies. The first enemies, as a matter of fact, that we fought coming out of Egypt, right?
Right. That's right.
The first enemies, and they still lasting. They still fighting now. All right, let's go to the next page.
Wellesley College in Massachusetts.
Wellesley College. Yep. And what year? It says what year.
This
book was from I think it was from the 80s or 90s.
Yeah, 93, I think.
From 1973 to 2007, he worked at Wellesley College.
Yep. So in the 1990s, they did all of this that we're about to read. All right. So this is the cover page. Tony Martin, 1942, The Jewish Onslaught. Right. Afro-Americans' relations with Jews. So he used this as a he's written a couple of books, but he used, a lot of references from other writers, namely from their scholars, but also from scholars of our own people that wrote a lot of stuff. And he compiled stuff together, and he put out, that's one of the books that he wrote. All right. Afro-Americans. And he was over Afro-American studies at the college.
Wow.
Okay.
All right. So let's go to the next page.
So this book wouldn't be making it in Florida. It wouldn't. It's not going to end up in Florida.
It's not going to end up in Florida. Not at all.
Absolutely
not at all.
Anti-Semitic, I guess.
Yep. So let's read this. Let's see what happened with Dr. Tony Martin.
So this is the introduction. It says, in January 1993, I was minding my own business and teaching my Wellesley College survey course on African-American history when a funny thing happened. The long arm of Jewish intolerance reached into my classroom.
The long arm of Jewish intolerance.
Tapped him on the shoulder.
Anti-Semitism.
What the hell is this?
The word that they use. Yes, said it reached into his classroom. Read.
Unknown to me, three student officers of the Jewish Hillel organization, Campus B'nai B'rith, stablemates of the Anti-Defamation League.
So they're stablemates, meaning they're in cahoots. They are birds of a feather flocking together with the ADL, the Anti-Defamation. Now, What the hell? This is the Anti-Defamation League, and then you defame other people?
They up in college classrooms?
Right.
College classrooms?
The theme today has been hypocrisy.
Has been hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy, even in their name.
Even in
You're
their
the
name.
Defamation League
Right.
that's most notorious for defaming others. That's crazy.
Right. Go ahead.
Sat in on my class and remained for a single period only. Their purpose was to monitor my presentation. As one of them explained in a campus meeting later, Jewish students had noticed the secret relationship between blacks and Jews. Among my offerings in the school bookstore, the book documents the considerable Jewish involvement in the transatlantic African slave trade.
Sheesh. They wasn't having it.
Oh,
they like, hold on. You're teaching an African-American history course at our college, and you going to tell them the truth that we had y'all as slaves?
Right.
They were like, oh, hell no.
Right.
They said, Negro, you ain't started in Emancipation Proclamation. What you doing going further back than that?
Right.
But notice how cold it is. They sat in on his class. They wasn't even part of his class.
Right.
They walked into his room to study, meaning they had a mission, a canary mission, watching like a hawk.
Bars. Hey, notice the pride too, because it said student officers.
Right.
This man is a distinguished professor,
right,
who's teaching a class,
right,
and these young students feel like they got the guard. Hey, I'm gonna walk up and monitor what he talking about in his class.
Right.
Come on.
And the crazy thing is, he said they only sat in on one of his classes, and that's how you know they were sent with a mission.
Yes.
They said, hey, listen, if he say anything about Jewish people, we got him.
We got him.
Right.
We gonna tell you. Matter of fact, we gonna tell you what he said, even if he didn't even say that.
Yep.
Right.
I keep reading.
Where we at?
The dissemination.
The dissemination of which knowledge they, as Jews, considered an anti-Semitic and most hateful act. They seem to think that it belonged rather in the realm of hate literature. There appears to have been some prior collusion between the Hillel students and their adult counterparts, the Anti-Defamation League.
So they're the junior. The Hillel students are the junior league of the Anti-Defamation League, is what it's saying.
For Hillel almost immediately began passing out ADL material targeting the book. These included, inevitably, an ADL reprint of Black Demagogues and Pseudo-Scholars by Harvard University's Henry Louis Gates Jr.
A Negro.
Dang,
a Negro.
Boy.
A Negro. Black Demagogues and Pseudo, meaning fake scholars.
Wow.
Go ahead.
African Americans' most notorious Judeophile. In the weeks and months to come, Gates would be quoted in nearly every attack on my use of the book as, I'm assuming it's going to say, anti-Semitic.
Right. So Gates, they using one of our own people that's in cahoots with them. Angry birds fall together.
Right.
Though hand join in hand, sir.
Right.
Yep. You will not go unpunished.
Real quick, just another quick point again about this, driving this hypocrisy point home. Because when we use books written by Jewish scholars, right, they'll still call us anti-Semitic.
Yes, right.
We'll still say, oh, it's hate speech, it's this and that, this and
Right.
that. But when they want to come attack one of us, they say, hey, get one of them smart Negroes that agrees with us.
Right.
Use his material. That'll work.
Right.
Just look at the hypocrisy, man.
Go ahead.
The Jews
unilaterally
anointed Gates with the mantle of head African-American scholar in charge of black academia. He became, in their contrived and wishful thinking, the personification of the entire African-American community. They evinced a bulldog-like instinct for going after the jugular of their intended victims.
So you see that? And that's what we're seeing right now. So this same attack that we saw in 1993, 30 years ago, is the same attack that they're bringing against IUIC right now. As soon as anything goes out, they come back and they've already created some other pamphlets. They drop it. You know what? I won't say it's them that's doing it because I don't know for certain. But it is very strange that all of a sudden there's leaflets being dropped in Jewish communities.
Right.
Or what is it, flyer materials in bags put in Jewish driveways.
Hey, they in the so-called synagogue. Somebody said, everybody make sure you take a paper tomorrow morning, put it in your yard. We've got our men from the media coming out. We've got to make it look believable.
Yep.
What the hell is this?
All right, keep reading.
For the last 3 decades of Jewish assaults on black progress, that jugular has usually meant the economic livelihood of black people. By the time that 4 of the Hillel executive and their rabbi director came to see me, they had already mobilized those they perceived of as capable of doing me grievous economic harm.
So they didn't come to have a discussion and say, hey, why are you putting this out? Let's sit down. Let's discuss the information that you're putting out.
Right.
And let's, you know what I mean? Let's talk about it like men. That's why at the beginning of the show, for everybody that's watching, before the show even began, Bishop came in. What is he? Bishop is pulling a card.
Yep.
Bishop is saying, let's sit down. Let's talk. Right. Since y'all are saying that we're hateful, what we're saying is lies, let's sit down then.
Face to face. Allow me to defend my position.
Right. Face to face.
Publicly.
Publicly.
So you can't try to lie and say, yeah, we went up to meet Israel United in Christ and they tried to beat us up and blah, blah. No, we're going to do it publicly and it's going to be on camera.
Yes. So Jacob, it ain't even no defend my position. Y'all got to prove what it is that y'all are saying. Anti-Defamation League and Canary Vision. Y'all the ones making these statements. Give me the proof.
That's right. Read that for the last 3 decades.
For the last
3 decades of Jewish assaults on black progress.
That jugular has usually meant the economic livelihood of black people.
It means the economic livelihood because that's where they try to strangle you out at. They know that really that's the last little crumb of what most blacks have is whatever little dollar they have. Black people rate themselves based on the amount of money that we have. What type of house do you live in? What type of car are you driving, right?
Right.
So they go for the money because that's what's going to scare them. Look at Nick Cannon.
Right.
Look at Deshaun Jackson.
Ice Cube.
Look at Ice Cube. As soon as you threaten that dollar, they know that. So this is showing that this is a pattern that they follow every time.
Right.
And our people are going to have to learn to stand on this Bible and get away from being fearful of them. We can't be scared, y'all.
Right.
We can't be scared. If you walking in the Most High God, as Christians like to say, if you walking in the spirit of the Most High God, you got the Holy Ghost on you, none of this ought to scare you.
Right.
You losing your money ought to not be fearful of you. Why? Because you know you got brothers and sisters that's going to ride for you.
Right.
God got his hand on you and he going to protect you. But y'all don't really believe that. So y'all afraid of them taking your money. Y'all afraid of them taking your livelihood. Keep reading.
By the time that 4 of the Hillel executive and their rabbi director came to see me, they had already mobilized those they perceived of as capable of doing me grievous economic harm. Their task was made considerably less arduous by the fact that the dean of the college, incoming acting president, outgoing chair of the board of trustees, incoming chair of the board of trustees, head and deputy head of the student government, most of the faculty holding endowed chairs, and a goodly portion of the tenured faculty, not to mention sundry other persons in high positions, were all Jews.
Wow.
Oh, but it's anti-Semitic to say that we have power and authority. Look at all them senior positions he just named.
Right.
At a university, and they all Jews.
And he's there teaching a African-American history course that they approved to be in their college, and the book that he's suggesting is in their bookstore.
Right.
But he's the one that's anti-Semitic.
But he's anti-Semitic. Man, this is crazy.
That's the same thing with Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
You can put the movie on there. People can rent it and go watch it.
Yep.
But you better not tweet it. If you got any position of power and influence that we allowed you to have, you better not retweet it.
Right.
So Amazon, they brother, can make money off of it. But you Negroes better not push it.
Right.
Crazy.
Madness. So let's go over to page 5 because it's a lot here, man, and we got to get through it. Go over to page 5. Go ahead.
Hillel chapters have become the campus-based shock troops in the ongoing Jewish onslaught against black progress.
So on every college campus, what y'all need to pay attention to if y'all are watching and you're on a college campus, he's letting us know that every college campus has groups floating through the campus like this, waiting to see what moves you're going to make. So be wise. Don't be fearful, but be wise because they're floating through your campuses right now. Go ahead.
The visit to Harvard University by Dr. Leonard Jeffries in February 1992 was a case in point. Dr. Jeffries was at the time under strident Jewish attack.
Now, this is at Harvard University, right?
He was under strident Jewish attack for pointing out the Jewish involvement in the African slave trade. Among other things, he has since won a court judgment for $400,000 against his detractors.
Boom. All praises.
Right.
All praises. This brother was able to, he was awarded some money because he went up and he stood up and fought against them. It's funny because I know somebody that minored in African. Did she major? She might have majored in African. No, she minored in African American studies at Harvard. And I've heard some stuff, you know, they said that the professor that was teaching it was pretty decent, but they never brought this out because when I had the discussion with her about all of this, she was like, no, they didn't teach that.
Wow.
They said, let's just put this in a history book on the campus.
Right. So in the 90s, they pulled them types of books out of there.
Right.
Go ahead.
When in 1992, African-American civil rights leader Reverend Al Sharpton campaigned for the New York Senate at Wellesley College, Debbie Shapiro, a member of Hillel, made the astonishing allegation that Sharpton was promoting genocide. Yes, she was quoted as saying he's radical, but he advocates murder.
It's the same crap they saying today. Oh, they're radical Israelites. They want to kill all of us all. They promote murder.
What the hell is this?
This is their MO from 30 years ago. So what we're seeing, y'all, is this is the exact same thing. They don't have it. Look, they have never created anything.
Right.
So they keep regenerating the same tactic over and over and over again, and now we hip to it.
Right.
What they say it often, say it well.
Say it often, say it well. That's exactly what it is. Go ahead.
Jewish groups say they are watching with alarm as blacks, including the Reverend Jesse Jackson and the heads of the NAACP and the Congressional Black Caucus, make a very public attempt to bring Mr. Farrakhan's Nation of Islam into the mainstream.
Yeah, okay.
The hell is this?
Okay, let's go to the next page.
But you know, officer, though, on that point, though, even though we know, we don't agree with Nation of Islam and the doctrine and all that, but it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Anytime there's an organization that's trying to band black people together, they try to dismantle it.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what the doctrine is.
Right.
It's more pertinent now because we teaching that we the Israelites.
Right.
We teaching black people to keep God's law, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
So, of course, it's going to sting a little more in their pocket or on their heart when it's us. But it don't matter what it is.
Right.
Black people trying to come together and mobilize and do something and unify, they like, nah, we got to destroy it immediately.
Right.
Hey, Officer Jacob, it goes into that same thing we were speaking about when we spoke on the topic of Kyrie and our brother Ye. Right. Is that you saw even way back, they planted those little stories. Oh, he crazy. He's this, he's that. Because they understand at any point in time, this momentum could shift and they could just say, oh, no, we the Israelites. Bishop Farrakhan can look up and be like, yeah, we the Israelites. Bishop Nathaniel, hey, he's on point. That brother's good with me. And thousands and millions of our people say, okay, all praises.
Yes.
So they gotta put those defamation, their quoted statements and lies up in there just in case.
Just in case. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, let's read this. Now, the beginning, this page, this is chapter 4 of the book, and it's called Jewish Racism. So let's read this.
All black folks should read the occasional Jewish newspaper. The result will be a solitary education on Jewish attitudes to African people.
And we hear this all the time from our elders, right? Bishop Yawasop, Bishop Nathaniel, they say all the time, when you go into a bookstore, do not go into the typical spots in the bookstore that you go in. Don't go looking for history in the regular history spots. Go into the Jewish section.
Right.
Because they're going to drop some books in there, and those books are going to begin to tell things that were never taught, but they've been written for a long time. Right. Why? Because if you want to keep something from a nigga,
put it in a book.
Put it in a book. So that's why. So every once in a while, read some of these Jewish or these Amalekite, because the Amalekites are the Jewish people today in the Bible identified as Amalek, the Amalekites, for those of y'all that are new watching. So the Amalekites, from time to time, read their newspapers, read their publications online, and watch the things that they constantly got us in their mouth. The defamation of blacks. Go ahead.
The very lowest expression of...
the result? No, you read, my bad, go ahead.
The very lowest expression of Jewish racism was characteristically reserved for the clandestine form of hate mail. The fundamental underlying motive of Jewish racism is an unwarranted assumption of Jewish superiority.
Unwarranted. Why? Because the Bible said that y'all were the basis of all people.
Right.
In the book of Job, it called you the basis of all people. So you have an unwarranted assumption that you're superior, that you're greater than everybody else.
He said, y'all thought us all together. I was like y'all.
Yeah, you thought I was like y'all. Go ahead.
What the hell is this?
Jewish commentary on the present controversy has revealed a strong animus against the mere presence of African Americans in the academy. The establishment of black studies departments and the hiring of black faculty have been equated with a lowering of standards.
Look at that, bruh.
Huh.
Wow.
Look at, so if I bring in a black scholar, somebody that understands and can teach students, right? They're as well versed, like you, speaking very well, very eloquent. But they saying, yeah, you know what? You bring that guy in, even though he's got these accolades and he's gone through and he's learned and done everything he needed to do to meet the standard. You're lowering our standards by bringing this Negro in here.
Right. Come on now, dog.
This is crazy.
That's code word for all the rest of us. We don't want to see that nigga.
Right.
Don't bring
That's
him
what
in.
it is.
He's more qualified than all of us combined, but we despise and hate them.
Right.
Jews, the recipients of $70 billion in reparations from Germany.
Wait.
I did read that kind of fast. I did read that kind of fast.
Jews are the recipients of what?
$70 billion in reparations from Germany.
Wait a minute.
They be crying every year, don't they? What in the world?
Wait a minute.
That's my first time hearing about this.
70 billion. They got $70 billion from Germany
in 1985.
I was just about to say the big part you left out was 1985.
In 1985.
So now adjust that for 30, 40 more years of continued reparations and inflation.
Right.
That's in the hundreds of billions right now.
Right. Why is America giving them $3 billion a year? What did they do to America?
What did they do to America?
Wow.
It said,
or what did America do to them that America owes them $3 billion a year? What happened?
Hey, officers with inflation, 195.7 billion today.
And Negroes,
they don't own all the media.
Right.
It could be.
And that's just 28 years ago.
But check it out. Negroes ain't received a dime. For the 300 years, or let's be specific and let it be specific. The 246 years that slavery was an official institution in America, where we built everything that you see in this country, where we created inventions that were literally stolen from us, patents that were ripped from our hands. The hundreds of years that we went through this, we ain't received a damn dime.
Obviously, I'm still tripping off the fact that, remember we read with the Rothschilds, and how even in the late 1800s,
1902, they established the education, the Board of Education, the first one in America.
And the money that was quoted in that book, like, yo, they throwing around how much money in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and then on top of that, late 1900s, they get $70 billion. It's if y'all think that y'all can survive and y'all are good with your measly little 40 million, and you just gonna bunny hop like Meek Mills for Amalek. Come on.
Bring it.
That's not that. You need to keep the laws of God. Join the fight and expose them like Ye and Kyrie did.
That's right. Routinely argue.
Where we at?
As of 1985?
Routinely. Oh, yeah. As of 1985, routinely argue and with a straight face against affirmative action programs to compensate in a minimal way for 500 years of African American slavery and subjugation.
With a straight face, they will argue against affirmative action programs.
Right.
Go ahead.
Many have convinced themselves, as one anonymously correspondent informed, next page, anonymously that Jews have asked for nothing and accomplished what they have through brain power and hard work, which makes a lot of others jealous of them. Emphasis in original. Wow.
Yeah.
They said they didn't accomplish everything on just straight brain power, huh?
Right.
And hard work.
Right.
What the hell is
Listen,
this?
the theme of tonight has been that hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Boy,
You people have received $70 billion of assistance, but then you say everybody's jealous of you because you're just so smart.
Because you're just so smart.
Oh, we work so hard.
Right.
Come on now, dog.
Hey, so what we going to do, because my brain is tired off of that right now, man. What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, right? We're going to take a quick break. Hey, y'all, buy some boom cards. Buy some boom cards, man. They coming up. But we're going to take a quick break, y'all, and then we're going to come right back to you. We're going to finish this out, and we're going to go through some other stuff about the things that we dealing with against these angry birds. All birds of a feather will fall together. You are tuned in to In the Scripts.
Reloaded.
In the Scripts. Reloaded.
Where'd all these different faiths come from? Well, there are a lot of man-made religions out there. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit after the tradition of man. What man? The white man.
in Europe in the time of the Renaissance, you know, they start whitewashing all the dark images in Spain, in Portugal, in Russia, and all these places. And archaeology could show today, we got the records showing that there were black images all over Spain, all over Europe. Okay, why? Because the Christians over there at that time, they were all black.
Being a Christian, you are the following of Christ. You keeping the Passover, New Moon, Sabbath, all that make a big difference. In Christianity, they keep none of what the Bible says.
The Jews have always been black.
So the true early Christians maintained faith in Christ along with Jewish law.
It is very important for us to come out of what we don't belong in and come back to what God actually made.
Brothers, sisters, let's all of us come out of the Christian church now.
It looks more like a military group than anything else, but I'll read what they have.
You said something about it looked like something.
An army.
What make you say that?
Because look, it's like military style.
Why do you support Kyrie?
I'm pretty impressed. I heard it from about a mile away, so I had to come over. Okay. How many men?
Uncle was there where you left. Your auntie was there where you left. Cousin was there where you left. Brother was there where you left. Sister was there where you left. Father, your mother, your uncle, your auntie, your cousin, your brother, your sister was there where you left. 12 tribes! 12 tribes! 12 tribes!
There's something that was said that has never been done or seen before. Unity of our people. We are the 12 tribes of Israel. Is that right, brothers? We are the Israelites the Bible speaks of, and we will not apologize. We're going to teach this truth come hell or high water. Christ said the gates of hell shall not prevail against us. I want everybody to understand that. In Ephesians chapter 4, verse 3, the Lord said, endeavor to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. Let's hear it. Unity! 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 And we will not ever bow the knee or apologize. So at that, brothers, who's the king? Christ. Who's the king? Christ. Who's the king? Christ. 12 tribes! 12 tribes! 12 tribes! 12 tribes! 12 tribes! Unity! 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 Who's the king? Christ. Who's the king? Christ. Who's the king? Christ.
What is a nation?
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His word, his word, his word, his word.
Is this the problem you face when it's time to go over the Bible? Have you been searching for a fun way to bring the Bible to the classroom? Well, look no further. IUIC Boom Cards has you covered. The perfect solution to keep your children edified and occupied during the Sabbath and throughout the week. These decks provide exciting and interactive ways to learn that are sure to grab your child's attention. Now loaded with decks teaching the High Holy Days, the Commandments, and much more. Your child will love learning the Bible with IUIC Boom Cards. Order your deck today at www.boomlearning.com/author/IUIC. Is this the problem?
Right.
All praises, all praises.
Hey, I like the way that came in.
Right.
Hey, you were tuned in the Scripts Reloaded. We're gonna make that thing happen anyway, man.
That's
Even
right.
though it's slid in on us, man, but we don't get caught off guard, man. Right. If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready.
Right.
Yeah. Facts. Hey, so let's go back. So what we dealing with is the onslaught, right? The onslaught, because that's what we're going through right now. There's an onslaught of information and hatred being aimed at IUIC. Right. There's an onslaught against us in particular. I'm not saying that all of our people are not struggling, but right now our name is being spoken everywhere in high places, and they trying to take us down. Right. They want to take they hate our guts. And I'm perfectly fine with it.
All praises.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, as a matter of fact, earlier it was one thing I wanted to touch on when we talked about Henry Louis Gates, and it was something that Bart Harvey or Soldier Bart had said to me. Yeah, you know, we call him Bart Harvey, man. That's the comedian, man. That's the comedian.
The hell is this? Is it because of the hairline?
Damn. I ain't getting in that, bro. That's your war, bro.
Don't put me in the next special, man.
Right, right.
It's too late.
Yeah, hey, that man there, bro. I don't know why you come down here messing with these nice people, man. Hey, give me that in Maccabees, man. The show. Give me the Henry Louis Gates verse, the Henry Louis Gates scripture. Israelites that hated their own people. What is that? First Maccabees 2. Is that First Maccabees 2? You know what I'm talking about? Come on, yeah. All right, I'll look it up. But this is the Henry Louis Gates.
Got it.
You got it?
First Maccabees 11.
First Maccabees 11. There it is.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 11, verse 21.
Verse 21. That's it. Yep.
Then certain ungodly persons.
Then certain what?
Ungodly persons.
Certain people who know nothing about keeping the commandments, that ain't worry about keeping the commandments, know nothing of God, and God don't know them. Right.
Who hated their own people.
They did what?
Who hated their own people.
They would write books that they would put out against their own people, calling their own people pseudo-scholars. Hey. Certain ungodly people who hated their own people, read,
went unto the king and told him that Jonathan besieged the tower.
Went and snitched on his own people.
Right.
Unrighteously.
Right.
Because what Jonathan was doing was standing up for his people. Right. But went and told Jonathan's business to the enemy, right, so that he could be on the good side of the enemy when they took him down.
Right.
What the hell is this? That's called the Henry Louis Gates verse.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Henry Louis Gates verse, man.
Then they turn around and say, hey, you are the best scholar in the best African American scholar in the United States of America.
Hey, but what does that show? Man, another one came, because you're absolutely 100% right. What was you gonna say, officer? I heard you say something.
I was just saying that's that emulation that our people have, man.
Right.
You know, that hatred for one another. They don't like to see their own people to do good. Like, for instance, like the scribes and Pharisees. They was like, we got to stop them for everybody to believe on them. Right. This is the same thing. Right. Jonathan was a leader. You understand? Right. And they didn't like that. They didn't look at them evil persons look at them as leaders. So they was like, well, we gotta step in and go and tell the white man so we'll be the leaders.
Right.
Come on now, dog.
Hateful. Ooh. I got some choice words, man. But you see what's happening though. As long as you're willing to play the role with them, or play a role in assisting them, right? As long as you're willing to be a converso, which is what they were in the acquisitions. They were also known as what's some of the other terms that they were called in the Inquisitions? Familiars,
inquisitive, familiars,
inquisitives, yeah. All of those. That's what these people are, who hate their own people, that will build with the enemy against their own people.
Right.
Not knowing they fighting a losing fight, man.
Right.
All right. So let's jump back in the book. All right, let's jump back in the book. Where were we at? The meanest?
Yes, sir, the meanest.
Uh-huh.
The meanest, most semi-literate Jew, the standard of writing in the Jewish
parochial
press is often quite abominable.
Wow. So the meanest semi-literate Jew. So he said they semi-literate. He said that they are quite abominable. Go ahead.
Feels at liberty to characterize black studies departments as unworthy of academia and their faculty as ignorant charlatans.
What the hell is this? And you know what's interesting, man? I had a discussion, because I mean y'all all know what I do, you know.
Right.
I had a discussion with somebody out of this community, an Amalekite, right?
Mm-hmm.
Honest, just shop discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know that this person actually wouldn't say that King James was black, but he said that King James was a Hebrew, and that King James spoke multiple languages, and that the King James version of the Bible actually is the most accurate version of the Bible. Wow. The only thing he would not admit is that he knew that he was black.
Right.
He knew that time frame, but you know, that's but he admitted that King James was a Hebrew, that he was a total scholar, and that he spoke multiple languages, and that the King James version, or the authorized version that King James allowed to come out, was actually the best version next to the Hebrew and Greek. And Amalekite told me this.
Wow.
Shocked the hell out of me.
For King James to choose prestige men out of these prestige colleges to translate the Bible from Greek and Hebrew. So, I mean, he had to have some knowledge to be able to handpick these men.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
that is and I'll say this, me and Officer Jacob can attest, it is a normal thing for Israelites, not in America, obviously, not in Babylon the Great, but for other brothers and sisters of Israel, they speak multiple languages in all other countries.
Right. Hey, let me touch on that, because when we went to Spain, right, we had met some brothers out there that
See
was
how
from.
you threw that out there, right?
Praise God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We went to Tarsus.
Tarsus.
You know, we was up in Tarsus, boy, doing the work.
When we went to Spain, man, we met some brothers out there that was born in the islands or born in different countries. Matter of fact, one officer, shout out to Officer Ezekiel, he said he was born in Aruba. And he was saying that it's normal for them to speak like 4 or 5 languages.
Right.
Like we look at like, oh damn, that's amazing, bro.
Right.
He looking like, bro, what do you mean? Like,
right.
I learned English in school. I learned French in school. The language of the area is called Papamiento. I live in Netherlands now, so I speak Dutch. I know a little bit of Spanish and I know a bit of Portuguese. Like this, you don't know this? Like, all you speak is English?
He like, y'all some slow bunnies.
I'm sitting back looking like, God.
And we stuttering in English.
Right, in America, we simple as hell.
Right. Right, absolutely. All right, finish reading that.
It says, any independent black perspective on black people's history becomes racist and bigoted if Jews do not agree with it or lack the information to evaluate it.
Wow.
The principal exception to the anti-black scholars rule are those select few black academics who do the Jews' bidding.
There you go, the converso.
So when you read back up where it says, go back up. Just go back up real quick. Read where it says any
independent black perspective on black people's history.
So this is black people's perspective on black people's history. Come on.
Becomes racist.
The reason why it becomes racist because you have to talk about them white folks that did the slavery to us.
Right. Yes.
So they deem it racist because you telling the truth about what your people went through.
Right.
But leave it to them. We sold ourselves into slavery, but nobody will buy us.
Right.
Man.
Who the hell sells themselves into slavery?
And nobody, sorry that nobody will buy you.
Nobody.
Please take me.
Come on now, dog.
I want to
Get
the hell out of here.
Wow. I read that at the bottom of the principle.
The principal exceptions to the anti-black scholars rule are those select few black academics who do the Jews' bidding.
And that was Josephus. You know, unfortunately. Fortunately, but unfortunately. Because he wrote some stuff, historical, so we could see, some things and find some things out, put some pieces of the puzzle together. But he did their bidding, though. Go ahead.
These become eminent scholars, however modest their achievements.
Henry Louis Gates.
Damn.
Henry Louis Gates.
A Nobel Peace Prize for this outstanding African-American man. This nigga, my brother. My brother and Caesar Bohr.
Right.
Like Jewish New York City College professor Michael Levin, who has argued that blacks are less intelligent than whites.
The hell is this?
And like pro-Jewish black Wellesley College professor Marcellus Andrews, quoted above, who seems to lean in the same direction, Adelson thinks that blacks are stupid.
So notice what it said. A pro-Jewish black Wellesley College professor, Marcellus. He got a Negro, but that's a Roman name.
Right, Marcellus
Andrews. But he one of us though. But that's who they're speaking of. Guys like that are guys that they excel them and they say, "Oh, he's fantastic. He's amazing.
Right.
Why not go sit in his lectures?"
Right.
Because that nigga gonna tell me everything that you would tell me.
Right.
That's why.
And they called him. They said, "Bro, your name Marcus, bro. Who is this Marcellus?"
Right. Go ahead.
He sees the attempt to help black students as an assault on the meritocracy of higher education.
Wow.
Meritocracy. Oh, the merit of it.
Yes, the merits. Yep. All right, next page. We're gonna run through this pretty quick, y'all.
But Adelson's racist generalizations do not stop at black students needing remedial help. In what must be the most blanketly bigoted condemnation ever made of an entire academic discipline, he writes, the so-called professors who are the denizens.
Meaning not even real citizens.
Damn.
He openly called the Negro professors denizens.
Damn.
Y'all don't even belong here is what he's saying.
Right.
Damn.
Go ahead.
The so-called professors who are the denizens of black studies departments are perhaps the least well-prepared of any on the campuses across the country.
Sheesh.
The poor quality of their scholarship, which is indeed ludicrous, has made black studies programs across this country a source of ridicule in American education.
So because there's black history programs in the colleges in America are deemed as less scholarly than other ones around the world that don't have the
black studies program.
Yes. God, dog.
So what they're saying is the little bit of black history that our people that learned in school, that's remedial.
Yes.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're really not learning your true history.
Right.
Because your true history goes way back into Genesis. That's what they know.
Right.
Right.
100%. But how is it though? Like, think about it, right? Like we joking, we throwing punches. But when you look at this whole thing, how is it that they can call us hateful? Right? When this book was written in response to a hateful action taken against him.
Right.
He didn't just sit down and write against, I hate Jewish people and I think that they're the lowliest. He didn't just sit down and write. Why? Because we don't care.
Right. Right.
We too busy, as we say, trying to get it out the mud.
Right.
Because that's where we came from. We don't have time to sit back to wonder about what is Amalek doing today, man. We trying to build our nation.
Right.
So how are they calling? We're reading everything hateful that they can say about us, not as one person, but as a group or a nation of people.
Right.
Yet their attack is against us. It's madness. It's madness, y'all.
It's hate against us because we done unlocked our history.
Right.
So it ain't ludicrous no more what we saying, because what we saying is actually true.
That's right. Let's see, man, because go to Ezekiel chapter 35. You know what I want, right? Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse. Yes.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 35 and verse 5.
And actually start at verse 1 and 2 and then jump to 5. Let's see who they talking about.
Book of Ezekiel, chapter 35 and verse 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir.
Against who?
Mount Seir.
Set thy face against Mount Seir. Pause right there. Let's go see who Mount Seir is. Right. Let's go see who Mount Seir is.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 36 and verse 8. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir.
Thus dwelt who?
Esau in Mount Seir.
Read.
Esau is Edom.
Esau is Edom. So let's go back to what we were reading.
Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 2. Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir.
Set your face against the so-called white man. Set your face against Amalek, the so-called Jewish Israeli man. Set your face against all of the European nations that are against you. Ezekiel, read.
And prophesy against it.
And prophesy against it. Not build with it. not make friends and be friendly to it and make allegiances with it.
Right.
He said prophesy against it. What is he prophesying against it? 28:8, Ezekiel. What are we prophesying against it?
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 28 and verse 8.
Uh-huh.
They shall bring thee down to the pit, and thou shalt die the deaths of them that are slain.
Did I call the wrong one? The prophets before me prophesied.
Oh.
Jeremiah 28:8. Appreciate it.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 28 and verse 8.
So let's see what we prophesying against Sierra. Go ahead.
The prophets that have been before me.
So all of the prophets that were before Jeremiah, all from the beginning. Read.
And before thee of old prophesied both against many countries.
Prophesied against the countries.
And against great kingdoms.
Against great kingdoms.
Of war. And of evil. And of pestilence.
Of war, evil, and pestilence. So we're not building with them. We're not making friends with them. Right. That's not what we were told to prophesy against in the book of Ezekiel. Go back to Ezekiel.
Let's go to war.
Let's go to war.
Yeah. And what we prophesy, that evil that we prophesying about is that slavery that you put our people in.
That's right. That's right. Calling us less scholarly and a stain on your university.
Right.
Read.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 35 and verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
And who is the thou? Seir, Edom, Esau, the so-called white man, including the Israeli. It said that they have had what?
A perpetual hatred.
An everlasting hatred.
And has shed the blood of the children of Israel.
The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
By the force of the sword in the time of their calamity. In the time that their iniquity had an end.
In the time that we should have been rising out of it, they were screaming, race it, race it.
Right.
Burn it to the ground. And then they walked in and took our lands and called themselves us.
The hell is this?
Stole our whole identity. This is what we here to teach, y'all. This is what we here to show our people, that this is what's going on with them.
Right.
Don't be fooled, y'all. Don't be fooled. What you got to say, officer?
Hey, man, go ahead. Man. Hey.
All praises to the Most High, man. Let's go. So what is the what we got? Yeah, let's go to the next page. We're just about done with this.
It says, Lawrence D. Lowenthal, executive director of the New England American Jewish Committee, illustrates this. He became so
apologetic, bro. Apoplectic.
At the legal victory of Dr. Leonard Jeffries.
So he became so upset because apoplectic is going into the apocalypse. Like this is he became so angry. As a matter of fact, look the word up. Can we look the word up? Right. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Read what that word means.
This is the definition of apoplectic.
College educated.
Overcome with anger.
He's so like this is going to like an apocalypse. He's that mad that this is like an apocalypse to him.
Extremely indignant.
And extremely hateful. He hated the fact that Dr. Leonard Jeffries won $400,000 defending himself against the white Jewish community.
They were so angry that they went back 4 years.
Went back 4 years and took down a class.
Oh, them apoplectic birds, man. Oh, them apoplectic birds.
Ooh, birds of a feather will fall together. Trust and believe you will fall. It's a fixed fight. And I'm laughing. Ha ha. I'm laughing, bro. Go ahead, man.
He became so apoplectic at the legal victory of Dr. Leonard Jeffries against the Jewish encouraged assault on his freedom of speech that he momentarily even embraced Arabs and Catholics in his wild rantings. Damn. Good God. Do I have any Arab brothers in the house? Any Catholics in here that believes on Jesus?
I need y'all to strap a bomb to yourselves and just go. I need y'all to go with Johnson & Johnson and blow up all their haircut products and yeah.
Come on, now.
We need y'all to blow up all of the African American study rooms at these colleges, bro. They just gave this Negro $400,000. I'm hot,
man.
Heated.
I am livid. Go ahead, man.
He called Jeffries Europhobic, anti-Semitic, anti-Arabic, and anti-Catholic.
He called him all those things for winning.
Yes.
against something that was done evil to him.
Right.
Damn, I'm evil. I'm anti this and anti that because I won and proved that y'all done something bad against me.
They like, nigga, how dare you stand up for yourself?
How dare you? But notice though, he called him Europhobic, so he put him against all white people.
Right.
He called him anti-Semitic, so he pit them against the Amalekites. He called them anti-Arabic, so he wanted all of them to be upset with him, and then he called them anti-Catholic because he wanted the deities and all of them to come against him as well. Here,
the hell is this?
He called all of the big dogs.
Right. All the big dogs.
He said, "We got to rally for this one.
We got to pull out all the stops.
Right,
dude. That's crazy. Hey, real quick, just sidebar. I just thought about something. You said anti-Semitic, anti-Arabic. Ain't the Arab Semitic?
Yep.
Yeah. that's the hypocrisy of this word anti-Semitic because we know where it comes from. You know, Abraham. I'm talking about Abraham.
Right.
We know it comes from Shem. Right. So it's more than one Shemitic line of people. So you say anti-Arab, that's also anti-Semitic.
Right.
They said even in his rage, he got to stick to the lie though.
Right.
Yep. Go ahead.
Elsewhere in the Jewish press, Minister Louis Farrakhan is a professional bigot. Dr. Leonard Jeffries is a charlatan and virtually criminal. He was mad, man.
Wow.
One at that, and yours truly is a career racist.
All of these things, bro. For winning $400,000 for defending himself.
Right.
Against an onslaught.
And you know Jake ain't got no power. It's not like he went up in there and was like, hey, I'm going to win this. Make sure I win this.
Right.
This was a legal battle.
Right.
Somebody else had to come up with the determination that this man was innocent.
Yes. Right. And he didn't attack them at all. Go ahead.
The beliefs of professional Michael Levin, Professor Adelson, and African-American professor Marcellus Andrews in Black Inferiority have inevitably found cruder expression in the hate mail.
So they... Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
A strangely similar letter mailed in West Palm Beach, Florida, bore a copy of Dr. Leonard Jeffries' photograph adorned with racist graffiti and the following ungrammatical message. White Jesus and 13 sick, you know what that means? Sick white apostles are all whites, a superior people. Niggers are the missing link.
So this is a letter that he received, bro.
Damn.
He
for
did
standing up for himself.
He did say ungrammatical message. That's why I'm over here stumbling. I'm like, oh.
Yes. So Dr. Tony Martin, they started writing him hate mail.
Right.
So they sent a letter to him with a picture of Dr. Leonard Jeffries and said all of this stuff.
Right.
So why attack Christ? You hate what this man did and standing up for himself so much that you identify Christ and blaspheme it and say 13?
The hell is this?
13 apostles. The hell is this?
You know what they know?
What they know?
That Christ was black.
That's right.
That's why in this letter they had to say that he was.
Jesus.
There you go.
That's right.
That shows how much hatred they have. But the hatred is not for us.
Right.
The hatred is because he chose us.
That's right.
And that everything on earth was given. As a matter of fact, hey, that's rolling off my tongue so beautifully. Romans chapter 9, y'all. Romans chapter 9. Because some of y'all that's watching right now might think that what these people are doing is upright as hell. Let's see whether or not we are the inferior people and they are superior. Right. Romans chapter 9, you know what I want. Start at verse 3.
The book of Romans, chapter 9 and verse 3. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ. For my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh.
According to the flesh, meaning physical people, not spiritual people. Read. Right.
Who are Israelites.
Who are Israelites. Those are Paul's people. Those are his kinfolks, as we like to call them. Read.
To whom pertaineth the adoption.
The adoption belongs to the Israelites.
And the glory.
The glory belongs to the Israelites.
And the covenants.
The covenants, the first and the second, belong to the Israelites.
Right. And the giving of the law.
The giving of the law. Not the oral law. We don't give a damn about no oral law.
Right.
We don't follow no Talmud.
Right.
We're not following your mitzvah.
Right.
No, we are following the words of the living God.
That's right.
From Genesis to Revelation, all 80 books, not 66, was given to the Israelites. Read.
And the service of God.
And the service of God. We're the only ones called God's servants. Read.
And the promises.
And every promise in the book was made to us. Well, almost every promise, because the rainbow said he wouldn't flood the earth no more. So y'all got off on that, but he only did that for us.
Right.
Read.
Whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Christ came.
Christ only came for the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
That's right.
And no matter how much you slander us, you can't stop us.
Right.
You can't shut us.
We can read now.
That's right. That's right. Let's go back to the.
Hey, they apoplectic right now.
Right. They apoplectic right now. What you
Damn
say?
niggers.
Oh, we everywhere in the book right now, bro.
Look at their YouTube. Go back even further.
Right. All right, go. Theological disputation.
Theological disputation proved very popular with the mostly anonymous hate mongers.
They were all anonymous. How?
How convenient.
How convenient.
That's crazy.
There's a group right now, a group of angry birds that are upset with us,
Right.
and nobody can figure out who's funding
Who runs the
them.
organization? Right.
Who runs it?
Who's writing these articles? Who's
But-
posting these tweets?
Right. But I think that it came out at the beginning of the class. What was it? Milstein?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adam.
Milstein, Steiner, something.
Right.
Yeah.
Steiner Saw.
Wow. Go ahead.
An unknown bigot and bibliophile from Queens, New York, kindly sent me several clippings from various sources, supplemented by much handwritten exegesis.
The hell is this? Explanations of the Bible. Go ahead.
After accusing me of Bantu cultural imperialism, he suggested that the black church is a fraud for the simple reason Christianity is a fraud.
Well, he
got that part right.
For you so-called black Christians, you so-called black Christians that go to church on Sunday, listen to what this Jewish man said about Christianity. They got y'all believing in. It's a fraud.
Right. He just told them, hey, a broke clock is right twice a day.
And right. You're right about
that. This is true. Go ahead.
This was scribbled on the photocopied title page of the Myth Maker, Paul and the Invention of Christianity by Him Maccabee, and the Trial of Jesus of Nazareth by S.G.F. Brandon.
Why they keep attacking? Go ahead, man.
The hell is this?
Shifting gears to slavery in the United States, this engaging scribbler wrote, "There was no black Holocaust. Slavery wasn't so bad."
The hell is this?
Sheesh.
Damn. That ain't anti-Semitic?
That
ain't hate speech?
That's hate speech, bro.
That don't deserve to be canceled?
Right.
The hell is this?
Bruh, he's writing these things to a scholar.
Right. That's
Anonymously. Too cowardice to even say who he is saying it.
Right.
Madness.
You gotta be angry. You taking time out of your day. You got a wife, you got kids, you got millions of money because your people been getting paid forever. You so mad you taking time out of all that time to write scribbled, illiterate letters to a black man that, apparently according to y'all, is inferior and don't know nothing.
Right. So inferior that y'all doing all of this. All right. Hey, so look, there's more that we could go through, but we got a short time to cover a few other things because remember the title to the show is Birds of a Feather Fall Down Together. So we got to deal with that because all of this and this hatred that they show against us vehemently, that's my word for the day. That's my LSJ. Vehemently. For the hate that they have for us perpetually, God said he going to bring them down. They are going to fall down.
That's right.
So hold on, Israel. Hold on. This ain't the time to be slipping and tripping. Sisters, get your mind right. Brothers, keep your eye, focus on the prize. Focus on the prize. So let's see about this falling down. Let's deal with it.
So this is from the Jewish Journal. Jews as the new wasps. As American census data suggests, this nation is undergoing a significant and rapid change in its ethnic, racial, and social orientation. For the first time in U.S. history, racial and ethnic minorities outnumber Caucasians. And so I'm going to read that for y'all again. It said, for the first time in U.S. history, racial and ethnic minorities outnumber Caucasians. So they'll let in Ishmael, Moab, Ammon, but when it comes to letting in Issachar, Zebulon, blacks and Hispanics into the country, they said, nah, keep them niggas over there.
The hell is this?
Right. Keep reading.
We see why.
Jump down to where it says "wow." The next paragraph.
Scroll down. Scroll down.
And that's also a lie. It says for the first time, minorities is now
outnumber
them. When you read Hosea, we the number of the sand of the sea.
Shit, bring
You
it out.
understand? Let's get there real
Bring
quick.
it out.
Been Hosea 10.
Bring it out. You have been found a liar. Why are you gay?
The book of Hosea, chapter 1, verse 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel.
The children of Israel today are you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Read.
Shall be as the sand of the sea.
Shall be as the sand of the sea. You can't, even if you pick up a handful of sand, you can't count that.
You can't count it.
The sand of the sea, it's talking about all the sand that's on the shore.
Right.
That's how the nation of Israel is.
Right.
And this is before this. That's all I got.
While the traditional white majority seems to be unraveling, an even more significant subset of the traditional elite class of American society seems to be diminishing, both in terms of numbers and influence, would be the WASPs, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. In contrast, one of the few groups that seems to be emerged intact happens to be the Jewish community. While the percent of Jews in America continues to decline, the social and communal infrastructure of American Jewry represents. Today, Jews indeed fit all of the criteria that historically define WASPs. A number of specific characteristics define their rise to power and prominence.
To what? I'm sorry, real quick. To what?
Their rise to power and prominence.
I wonder if this is anti-Semitic, even though it's written by their own people. Because remember, again, it's quote unquote part of their criteria of being anti-Semitic to say that Jewish people have power and prominence. Right. But this is written by the Jewish Journal, so I wonder if they're gonna say this is anti-Semitic.
No, we anti-Semitic for reading it.
Right.
Number 1, possessing and or having access to money, power, and media. Wait, so when Kanye said it though, it was, I guess he was crazy. He was,
right,
anti-Semitic.
What they call it, the red media?
The
red
media.
Red
had
media.
the photo proof and everything.
Right.
But, hey,
right.
Number 2, holding key positions of influence within the society.
That run the music industry.
Uh-huh.
This is what they saying.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to the book that you read, remember all those positions, the department chair and chair emeritus and head of this and head of that, being the head of academic institutions. That's also prominent positions in society.
Absolutely.
Number 3, maintaining an array of significant business and professional contacts. Number 4, helping to shape the social values and cultural mores of the society.
Hey, real quick, I'm sorry, that's a heavy point. It said helping to shape the social values of society. How do they do that? By their propaganda, by their media, because they can push a narrative to get ingrained in the minds of people to think, okay, well, this must be bad because they said so. Or this must be the standard of what's right because they said so. Now you've literally manufactured the minds of people to understand what is valuable, what is not.
You see they handpick the so-called black leaders, so you have brothers and sisters in our community that's regurgitating stuff that's really comes from Amalek.
Yes, absolutely. Because I don't know, so if y'all remember a few months back when we were going through all of that, remember, it was Amalek that was funding all of the Christian churches from the inception of the country. It was Amalek putting their dollars in. So even Christianity in a Western culture especially is pushed by Amalek. They only teaching what Amalek want them to teach.
Which is fraud.
Yes.
Number 5, being respected by others from across the political and social spectrum.
Yep. So all of these things, this is what Amalek is doing, but it's all crumbling down. It's going to come down. Even those angry birds.
Right.
Let's go to the next. Let's go to number 12. Let's go to the next one. Let's see it all crumble. And the wall come crumbling down. I'm telling you right now, it's going to fall, man. It's going to fall. Now, where's this article coming from?
The Times of Israel.
The Times of Israel. Maybe this is reputable news. Let's see. Go ahead.
LA Jewish group pulls funding for Canary Mission linked NGO. Pulls funding. Oh, that's not good.
Pulls funding.
Jewish Community Foundation suspends grants to Israel-based Megamont Shalom says no indication previous support went to controversial anti-Israel blacklist.
So now what's interesting, because I want to point this out. When you look down, this article was written by Joseph Dolston, and this is from October 15th, 2018. So they've been doing this for a long time.
Right.
But notice when this was being targeted or aimed at who they call, Middle Easterners, when it was being targeted or aimed at Arabians or Palestinians in there, right? They had some might and some power, and they were like, hey, you know what? We should leave them alone. We should look, man, I'm not giving you no more money to mess with these people.
Right.
Right.
They digging in their pockets deep right now with us. Damn. They done revamped the whole thing. Because this is 5 years ago that they start pulling money away. Why is it back awake today?
Right.
Why is it bigger than ever right now?
Right.
Because they see what we read in Jeremiah 49:12. They seeing us be set in order right in front of their eyes. Right in front of their face. Colossians, what is that in Colossians? Colossians 2 and, is it 2:21 maybe? Look at 2:21. Yeah, I look and see what it says. What is no. Let me look at because I know I got it written with my Jeremiah. Say something.
While he's finding that, if you remember in the book that we just brought out, Esau, Amalek, Edom, in the midst of their apoplectic outburst, they will join with Ishmael and other Edomites, although they don't even share the same, belief, quote unquote, belief system. So it sounds like the same thing happened right here. But they say, you know what? Hey, listen, we're done attacking them over here. We've got a bigger fish to try to fry. Then they turn their heads towards us.
Right.
But it's not gonna work over here.
Colossians 2 and 5. That's it. Colossians 2 and 5. I know it was in chapter 2.
The
2 and 5.
The book of Colossians, chapter 2 and verse 5. For though I be absent in the flesh, yet am I with you in the spirit. Joying and beholding.
Doing what?
Joying and beholding.
Joying and beholding.
Your order.
Your order. That's what we happy about. That's why right now y'all don't see us pulling back and being scared and shaking in our boots. No, we having fun.
We having fun.
Yeah. We having fun. Yeah.
Right.
Why are they so excited? They posted you on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? Yeah, they did, didn't they? Why? Because in Isaiah 13, what did he say that this would cause them to do? Go to the gates of the noble.
Yep. That's right.
This is spiritual, y'all. Y'all don't even understand what's going on.
That's right.
This is spiritual. Go to the run, tell that.
Right.
That's what we said. Run, tell that then. We ain't tripping.
Hey, the only people shaking and scared right now is the Christian pastors because they like, man, what are we gonna do? They keep on hitting us up.
Right.
These niggas won't leave. All right, finish this out.
It says, JTA, the Jewish Community Foundation of Los Angeles, will suspend grants from donors to a group that appears to support the controversial Canary Mission, although the foundation said it was not aware that previous grants had been used to fund Canary Mission and its efforts to blacklist anti-Israel activists on campus.
So they lying. They lying. The hell is this? Go to number 13. They lying.
Oh, no, we didn't even know, man.
Yeah.
Lying out.
Yeah, they lying.
Well, why you always lying?
Right. Why you always lying? Yeah.
Committee on Academic Freedoms, Middle East Studies Association of North America.
So Middle East Studies. So not African American history studies. This is Middle East studies,
not
right?
Black studies, not the lowering standard, the Black study department.
Right.
Exposing Canary Mission, a resource for college and university leaders. Canary Mission is a secretive but clearly non-academic political organization that uses its website to engage in defamatory attacks against college students who advocate for Palestinian rights, against students and other organizations engaged with this issue, and against faculty who teach or speak publicly about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
So guess what? The same thing they were doing there is the same thing they doing to us.
Right.
The only problem is that we are so-called Negroes in America and don't nobody give a damn about us.
Right.
So guess what? We don't have the money and the resources and the funds to wage this campaign, but we can do it ourselves, though.
That's right.
We can make all the thumbnails we want to make, and as long as we can hop on YouTube and any other channel or platform that will allow us to speak, we gonna clown.
That's right.
We gonna fight.
And then when you shut that down, We're going to hit the block like we already doing.
Hit right. We're going to hit the block.
Stop it. Can't stop. Won't stop. Take that.
Take that. Right. All right. So let's go to what number we at? Number 14? Yeah, let's go to number 14. We got about 10 minutes.
This number 14?
Mm-hmm.
Jewish voice for peace. That's where this article's coming from.
Now, that's ironic. Jewish voice for peace. Wow. Go ahead.
Against Canary Mission. University faculty condemn Canary Mission blacklist.
So they own people are condemning the blacklist.
Right.
But guess what? Everybody that we see that they were condemning them against or that they were pulling funding for is the same people that old boy wrote in his letter.
Right.
The Arabic people. Because a lot of those Arabics now, they starch Muslims. They starch Muslims. Right. But you have a lot of pro-Palestinian Europeans.
Right, yep.
That will march on campuses for them. You go to those campuses, Davis and campus that you used to seeing protests. They'll march for them.
Yeah, well, I remember when I was in college, they had some things going on like that. You see a lot of Edomites, Europeans that would be pro-Palestine because they would say that it's against human rights and the things that they're doing over there in Israel, the oppression against Palestine, all that stuff. So that's a good point.
So what you're seeing in this battle never stepped in because, again, we just read that was 2018.
Right.
Why is it that these Palestinian leaders aren't reaching back and saying, hey, y'all did that to us. Y'all doing it to us now. And why aren't they naming? But you remember that y'all did this to Jeffries. Y'all did this to such and such. Why? Because it ain't a nation on earth to give a damn about us except for us.
That's right. That's right.
We got to fight for ourselves.
Right.
The Bible said that no man would buy us. Right. Meaning there was nobody that would redeem us. What did Christ say? The kingdom of heaven is within us.
That's right.
We don't get it by observation, y'all sitting on our behinds. We got to get out and do the work. You got to repent as an Israelite, come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. Come in and join us. Be built up and learn to get out here and be part of the fight.
That's right.
That's what this is about, y'all.
That's right.
We ain't going to lose. Right. We not losing. We telling y'all that. That's a promise. We ain't losing.
That's right.
That's right. And that's on God.
Right.
That's right. Yeah. So let's go out of this, man. We're going to play this video, man. Did y'all have anything y'all wanted to bring out for this last piece? No? All right. Right on. And this last piece.
There we go.
Yeah. This is the one. Americans will be poor overnight. So remember, y'all, the theme of the show again, birds of a feather fall down together. So the same way Amalek is going to fall, so is America, which is Babylon the Great, modern-day Egypt. So is all of the European nations that are over there, all of them are going to fall together.
That's right. This guy's Ishmael, I believe, as well.
Yes.
Yeah, he's Ishmael as well.
Yes. Let that play.
China and Brazil strike deal to ditch the U.S. dollar. This is a zero-hedge story. And, they have reached a deal to trade in their own currencies, bypassing the U.S. dollar. This deal will allow the two countries to conduct their massive trade, which amounts to $150 billion per year, and financial transactions directly exchanging yuan for riases, vice versa. This deal is part of Beijing's latest move against the U.S. dollar, extending its bilateral U.S. dollar attempting currency arrangement beyond countries such as Russia, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, to now include Latin American exporting powerhouse. While we are still strong, long away from the yuan replacing the U.S. dollar as a global reserve currency, the current U.S. ruling regime is destroying the world's faith and confidence, not only in the dollar, but in what was once a superpower and is increasingly a third world banana republic. Tom.
So y'all see where they're attacking now. The other nations, they're attacking their economics.
Right.
The same way that we read in the setup that they would attack our economics to break us down, the other nations are now doing that to them. And guess what? That's written in the scriptures.
That's right.
Give me the book of Jeremiah, chapter 25. We're going to read. I thought we had like 5 minutes, y'all. We're going to read this real quick. Jeremiah, chapter 25, verse number 15.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 25 and verse 15. For thus saith the Lord God of Israel unto me, take the wine cup of this fury at my hand, and cause all the nations to whom I send thee to drink it.
Make these other nations drink this cup. Read.
And they shall drink and be moved, and be mad because of the sword that I will send among them.
And we are going to be God's sword. But also, coming out of the sky is going to be some big black angels with some ships. And it's going to be a big black man who is spewing fire out of his mouth, the law, statutes, and commandments of God, and burning you to stubble. You will fall. Read.
Then took I the cup at the Lord's hand, and made all the nations to drink, unto whom the Lord has sent me.
Guess what? When we go out prophesying in all these different nations and Tarsus and everywhere else that we teach, we are making them drink this cup. The dregs belong to you. Birds of a feather fall down together. What you got?
Hey, give me 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 8. Just to land back on what you're saying also, because you're on point with that.
Bring it out.
Because the other nations, they watching our videos as well. And they like, damn, these people behind all of this stuff that they've been doing this to us, and they've been doing it to them. Hey man, we gotta do something about this. Read this.
The book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2 and verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed.
Who is that wicked? When you read Malachi 1 and verse 4, it's talking about Esau, Idumean, Edom, the so-called white man.
Whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
How he gonna do it with the spirit of his mouth? Give me Daniel chapter 9 and verse 10. Show you what the spirit of his mouth is.
The book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 10. Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord our God to walk in his laws, which he sent before us by his servants, the prophets.
The prophets. Where are the prophets found at? In the Bible. We are the Lord's voice when we speak this Bible. This is his mouth. Understand that thing. And he going to consume these other nations. He going to consume Edom with the spirit of this Bible. Read on.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed.
The white man.
Whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
This Bible.
And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
What's the brightness of his coming? Boom.
Boom. That's right.
Hey, it's a wrap, Edom.
It's a fixed fight.
That's what you got to look for. Yeah. Boom.
Yeah, it's a fixed fight. Hey, we got 3 minutes. Go back to Jeremiah 25. We got 3 minutes. Start at verse 20, read 20, 21, and then we're going to jump down to verse 26.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 25 and verse 20. And all the mingled people and all the kings of the land of Uz.
So all the mixed nations, land of confusion, Babylon the Great, go ahead.
And all the kings of the land of the Philistines and Ashkelon.
Ashkelon is in Israel, go ahead.
And
Azah, Israel.
And Ekron.
Israel.
And the remnant of Ashdod.
Ashdod is Tel Aviv. Read.
Edom,
the so-called white man, all of them. Read.
And Moab,
the Chinese.
And the children of Ammon.
And the Japanese, 26, I mean.
And all the kings of the north.
All the kings of the north. Read.
Far and near. One with another. And all the kingdoms of the world, which are upon the face of the earth. And the king of Shishak,
United States of America,
shall drink after them.
Are going to drink the dregs, and this cup is yours.
That's right.
All praises to Selah.
Yeah. That thing gonna taste like death.
That's right. That's right. So look, we pray that y'all glean something from this show, man. Hey, Cap, we miss you, man. We know that you're busy. All of our brothers that aren't here, we miss all of y'all. But we want everybody watching to subscribe and follow IUIC Dallas, Instagram at Dallas IUIC, Facebook at IUIC Dallas, TikTok at IUIC Dallas, YouTube at IUIC Dallas, and donate to IUIC.Dallas at IsraelUnite.org and help us keep pushing this truth.
That's
all right? We appreciate y'all. You were tuned in the scripts.
Reloaded.
In the scripts. Reloaded.
Is it about me? Is it about the remnant? Is this about Jesus? Is it about repentance? Constantly wink at ignorance cause he paid the price. Forgive and be forgiven cause he laid down his life. Feel like the first 48. Murder my pride. See every 24 hours this
in the scripts. Reloaded. You are listening to In the Scripts. Reloaded. You are listening to In the Scripts. Reloaded.